the Pittsburgh Piledriver
What the hell is that?
Podcast.
No, your eyes and ears do not deceive you. We do have two shows this week. We're not doing a big giant picks episode. We're not doing a giant rambly bambly bimbly episode. We're doing two episodes this week. I can't believe it. But you should, and you can, and you will. Here we go. Tiger Bomb Tom, Beef the Legend, Ransom the Dum Dum. We're all here to do talkies at you. Poot's apparently still jam banging with his band. Or he's at a VFW drinking with Ric Flair. We don't know. Who knows? Who knows what he does? Maybe he's been talking this whole time and it's just been on the recording. Or maybe it hasn't. Nobody. I mean, it's a toss up. You know, bankers in Clearfield. It's hard to say what goes on up there. What's that, Beef?
I said cheese.
Yeah.
Fucking jam banging. That's that tickled me.
Jam banging and lamb basting and bizzle basting. And hey, guess what?
Poot's gonna hear this recording and quit.
No, he won't.
Like, Poot's gonna hear this and be like, "Nope, I'm out. We're done."
It'll be fine. He'll be on the recording. In any case, we've got more wrestling to talk about, I'm sure. And with that said, I hate everything.
Well then.
How do you feel
Thanks,
about that?
Bye.
Hey,
It's happened twice.
You know,
2 episodes, 2 hard quits. Rage quit.
Yep, rage quit. Hey, rage
Fair
quitting. You know who's rage quitting? Sting.
CM Punk.
Sting.
I don't think that's accurate to call that a
Think
rage quit. But yeah, man,
Think it's something different.
he's you know,
I think when you
Doing the
age
thing.
out of it, it's not necessarily called rage quitting.
you know, here's the thing. All right, I don't believe in fucking retirements and wrestling anymore because, like,
It's been a
no,
minute since there's been a hard retire.
yeah, man. And, like, I don't want to see fucking Sting doing the Ric Flair thing of falling asleep on the ring apron. Like, I don't need to see that.
Dude.
But on the flip side, like, Sting has had some bangers as of late and has shown me nothing that he could not continue to wrestle another 5 years. This is absolutely a choice by Steve Borden.
Yeah.
I fully support it too. Like if he knows his limitations and he wants to call it quits, I say good for you. I respect
100%.
those people more than I do the people who continue to go past when they should be going. Do you hear me, Richard?
Ric Flair.
Like
What?
I fully respect someone who can go, you know what? I've seen it all, I've done it all, I've had a lot of fun. My age and my body have caught up to me. I'm gonna hang my boots up.
Yeah, and I think regardless of his ability to still go, maybe it's just a matter of that. It's just like, you know, same reason I don't fucking drink anymore is my body does not recover the same way it used to 10 years ago. You know, I need a full day of recovery, and my days are either I'm working or I have my kids. There is no fucking off day for me. So, you know, I can't be dealing with a fucking hangover for a full day or anything like that. Same for Sting, man. That fucking, even if you're not wrestling all that often, you're still fucking taking those bumps. It's still taking its toll. So I'm you know, obviously 100%. If that's his decision, he wants to, you know, either get out of it altogether or maybe he'll go do something backstage and as a coach or something like that. All for it. Again, just like we talked about in the last episode, you know, and Edge's decision to come back and his decision to come to AEW, man, whatever makes the dude happy at the end of the day, that's what I'm here for. As long as he's happy and healthy, good for you, Sting.
Here's what's frustrating to me. Sting, unlike any other legend that has worked for AEW, I'm throwing out fucking Punk. Jericho ad nauseum has never fucking sniffed the AEW title, has never wanted any involvement in the AEW title picture, has no interest in competing for any title. Thing is doing what every veteran should be doing, and that is working with young talent and kind of like hiding his limitations by doing so. And so I I guess this is me being selfish because he is putting on some great fucking matches. And he is doing some wild shit at his age. And I get it, he probably wakes up and can't move for the next 3 weeks. I I understand it, man. But like, man, like he is being so selfless right now. And everything that he's touching is just really good. And I think that Darby has excuse me, really benefited from his presence.
Dude.
And it's amazing to me how big of a deal Sting has been in AEW without being a big deal.
Yeah, I get it.
So
if yeah,
it's disappointing, I think, more than anything, because it seems like he's having a good time. And again, I don't want to begrudge a dude in his fucking twilight. Like, fucking Steve Borden deserves it. If anybody in the wrestling business has been a good dude his entire fucking career, never made any fucking headway, or never made any fucking waves, never like fucking rattled the cage, always did things the right way, was never a guy that said boo about shit. Like Steve Borden is a guy that people should fucking look up to because now, like I said, even as a legend, he's worried about putting the younger talent over. He doesn't give a fuck about himself, and he's having fun doing it.
Yeah,
So
there's
if anybody deserves to ride off into the sunset under their own terms, it's absolutely Steve Borden, but it's still a fucking bummer.
there's two people, Sting being one of them. There's one other person that I can think of that wholeheartedly don't think anybody's ever had a bad word to say about them. He's never been involved in any sort of scandal, never did never had issues with, being sent to rehab or anything like that. And that's The Undertaker. And that says something, man. Two fucking stalwarts, staying with WCW and then going to Impact, and Taker, being the stalwart for WWE. That really, it's really something, man. It really is.
it's unbelievable how much Darby Allin has benefited being taken under the wing of Sting. I almost wonder if Darby Allin would have had a different trajectory in his AEW career if it had not been for Sting. I think the kid has the talent, no doubt, but I think Sting being paired with him and Sting taking him under his wing really helped to elevate Darby Allin maybe a lot faster than he would have been elevated before. And like Beef said, a dude who never sought out a title, a dude that never politicked his way into the AEW championship spotlight. Like, oh man, I think Sting is the epitome of what a veteran should be in the wrestling business. When you're a veteran and you have done it all, and now it's time for the young guys to shine. Those veterans really should be emulating Sting because he understands the importance of his position as a veteran, as a legend. It's not about him anymore. It's not about him in the spotlight anymore. It's not about him winning the titles anymore. It's about him helping to cultivate and elevate this next generation because whether we want to admit it or not, whether they want to admit it or not, a lot of these legends are on borrowed time as far as their in-ring capabilities are concerned. And to spend the last part of your career politicking your way into the spotlight or trying to win the title of whatever company you're in one more time, instead of doing that, you should be helping to cultivate the next generation of stars that we as the wrestling fans are going to be watching on TV. And I think that is exactly what Sting has done in AEW. You know, I think he had a nice spotlight in Impact. You know, they utilized him very well. He held some titles, and I don't think he's undeserving of them. I think those were all good things for him. And then when I think he went to AEW, I think he really understood, okay, I serve a new purpose now. Like, my purpose now isn't to be on top and to hold the belt and to have the spotlight and to get the ratings. That's not my responsibility anymore. My responsibility now is to teach and to answer questions and to collaborate with young talent on storylines and to go out to the ring and help to elevate the younger next generation of talent. I really can't think of a bad thing to say about Sting, and I think that a lot of people will be hard pressed to do so. And I really hope once Sting is gone, that the next generation of veterans, you know, and I'm kind of hoping that maybe Edge falls into this category in AEW as well. Like, it's no longer about being on top. It's no longer about the titles. Like, please, please do the right thing. And in my opinion, the right thing is to teach and elevate and cultivate. Like, you're the learning tree at that point. The young guys are supposed to sit under you and learn. I don't know if enough veterans see that and take that responsibility as serious as they should. I hope Adam Copeland does that. You know, I think he still has gas left in the tank for sure. But needing the AEW world title? No. Doesn't need it. And it shouldn't be going after it. You know, he should be doing what Sting has done and building the next generation.
So, unpopular opinion. I'm full of those tonight. I think I have no problem with guys like that going after the title. I don't think any less of them because of it. I admittedly, yeah, absolutely. I think a little bit more of Sting because he hasn't been, anywhere near that main event scene. I think that's pretty fucking cool. But like, I don't begrudge him if he wanted to have, a title match. The same with fucking Adam Copeland because these guys are huge fucking stars, and yes, you absolutely want your young guys to be focal, but I think that having these big megastars have titles is a way to help elevate the titles. I think that there's definitely a line though. And I'll say this. I think that because of invariably we're gonna end up here. A guy like Phil Brooks. I think him holding the AEW title wasn't a bad thing. But I think that the way that the title situation transpired with him before his first injury was not great. That whole thing seemed kind of fucking wonky to me. And I wasn't a huge fan. It definitely kind of reeked of like Punk saying, "Hey, put me over." Um, I think there's a time and a place for it, and I think as long as you're hitting the right time, the right place, great. But don't try to fucking shoehorn it. Like right now, somebody taking the title off of MJF, like Sting or Adam Copeland or whatever, like that would be weird. And I don't think that it would be behoove them to do that. So like by no means, if they want to fucking try to hit Sting with a title run early next year before Revolution, I'm all for it, man. Like that's cool. As long as it occurs naturally. I don't want it to be some shoehorned fucking thing. It's gotta feel good.
All right, so let me ask you two this. In your perfect world, for Sting's last match, A, does he go out on his back? And B, who does he go up against?
I'll let Beef take the reins on this one first.
In a perfect world, Mark Calloway, but that's never gonna happen. And I will forever be bitter that we never got Sting versus Undertaker. I think that the wrestling universe just kind of got fucked over there.
And in WWE, it should have been at that WrestleMania where he faced Triple H. It should have been
Absolutely.
Sting and Undertaker.
Agreed. Who, by the way,
Absolutely.
who did Taker face at that Mania in particular? Do you remember?
Bray Wyatt.
Ooh, yeah. It should have been Sting.
I mean, Sting versus Triple H and Taker versus Wyatt were two great matches at WrestleMania 31, which helped make that card really amazing. It's hard to say it absolutely should have happened. I think in a perfect world, WrestleMania 32 would have been the perfect play for that. But, yes, absolutely Sting should go out on his back. I would love to see it be Darby.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I mean, I think that that's kind of like the obvious answer, but I think it's also the one that makes a lot of sense. Kenny Omega is another one
Oh,
who I think could make Sting look really great in his last match. And yet, kind of be the one to put Sting out the pasture and kind of have that on his resume. The guy the guy that retired Sting. Much like Flair did the duty for Shawn. I think that Sting did that for Kenny. I think that'd be a pretty big deal. And let's
I
not forget Baron Corbin retiring Kurt Angle. That was a pretty big deal
Oh
too. So
God.
ba-da-da-da-da-da. I
Bip-a-dip-a-doo.
agree with you that Sting versus Kenny would be a good match to see, but I feel like for the benefit of the wrestler, I think it would do more of a benefit for Darby than it would for Kenny. Just because I think Kenny is such a big star. He's held so many titles. He's had so many amazing matches. Much like Brock Lesnar beating The Undertaker's streak, I don't think Brock needed that. With everything that Brock did, with everything that he wasn't an up-and-comer anymore. He wasn't the next big thing. He was already the beast. Like, I don't think Brock Lesnar needed that win streak over Taker. And I don't think Kenny needs that on his resume that he retired Sting. I'm not saying that it wouldn't be good. It would be good. I think it would be good on anybody's resume to say, I was the one that Sting had their last match with. But as far as the benefit of the wrestler goes, I think it would benefit Darby Allin a lot more than it would benefit Kenny.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Yeah, Sting should go out on his back. I don't know if there's a storyline or scenario that makes sense where it would be better for him to go over in his last match. I don't see how you would do that. And I'm really trying to rack my brain and think of like who else besides Darby. The only hesitation I have with Darby is that it's face versus face or whatever, but I'm sure they can work into that something with it where it's like the whole like like pretty much how they did with Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels or whatever. It's the whole, do it, put me out of my misery thing, and it's the I'm sorry, I love you moment, and that's it. Like I don't know who else you have on the roster that you would work into that, like, because I mean he announced his last match is going to be at what is it, Revolution 2024?
Yep.
Okay, so you got between now and then, if you were gonna try to have somebody else besides Darby be the one to have that match, you have between now and then to try to try to work this into a storyline somehow or whatever, or try to build it up. And I don't really see how you do that. I really don't see who you would do that with, I should say. So I think it makes absolute sense that it'd be Darby. I don't know. Who do you have anybody else in mind, Ransom? Like,
who was that big name that was in the match with Kenny and the Young Bucks at All In or All Out?
Against them or on their team?
I think it was against them.
Oh,
I can't remember the name of the
Takeshita?
Takeshita.
No.
Yeah.
Osprey?
Yes.
Oh. Ooh.
I don't know that I would be opposed to seeing Sting's last match being against a Will Ospreay or a Sling Blade Jay White.
Ooh.
I think
Switchblade.
that's it.
Sorry.
I like the idea of Darby and Sting because you've got mentor, mentee, they've never been in a match against each other.
Right.
Sting saying, look, I've taught you all I can teach you. Now it's time to put you to the test and, see if you can actually beat me after everything that I've taught you, after everything you've learned. I think the story is there for that. But I think, like, man, what a feather in the cap would that be to Jay White or to Will Ospreay to put on a banger with Sting and to be the one that retires Sting. Like, woof.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'd be pretty excited for either one of those two in a match against him.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all on that one. I think either one of those would be very very good scenarios. They could definitely put on a good match with him. Help hide his weaknesses or limitations or whatever. Especially Will Ospreay. If there's fucking anybody that could do it, be Will Ospreay. Another one that I mean, granted, he's not. Well, no, maybe not. I'm gonna throw this name out there, and I only say it because, like, Shawn Michaels, whenever he retired Ric Flair, was like not a young boy by any means. Let's put that out there.
No. No.
But another one that could potentially have a really good match with Sting, Bryan Danielson.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of possibilities, and again, I hope, however they do it and whoever they do it with, I just hope that they, get enough of a build up. And I'm not saying they have to start it like right now, like fucking next week on Dynamite, starts this whole story build up or whatever. Like, you could start it after the Full Gear pay-per-view or whatever. That's fine. You have, you have December, January, February. You got 3 months. You could do a nice build up in 3 months. No problem. But yeah, man, any of those names, really, any of them. God.
I agree. Will Ospreay is an interesting pick.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of Switchblade, though. Like, that makes a lot of sense. And hey, that's something that he can put in his fucking cachet and be like, you fuckers remember that I'm the fucking guy that retired Sting. You know, he could carry that shit around the rest of his life. And fucking Smarmy Switchblade is the fucking guy to pull it off. I I love it. I think that that's a fucking brilliant move. And yeah, Tom, you're 100% correct. You know, they got to do it right. If there's one thing that I think we've kind of criticized AEW for recently, it is that the booking hasn't been good at all. um,
I love that. I love
the
that.
the the matches have been great. The matches have been incredible. Pay-per-views have not fucking let down.
Right.
But like sometimes it feels like we're like the week before a pay-per-view and it's like, and here are 8 new matches that we're like, well, there's gonna be great matches, but like why? Why do we care about them?
Yep.
Um
Yep. And I
so
will
like
and
yeah.
this is one of those moments like we mentioned in the last episode where we're not afraid to point out the flaws of, you know, of one company from the next. Like AEW puts on awesome banger fucking matches, but they don't always have a great build up to them. WWE, to their credit, has been pretty good for the most part for a little while now. You know, doing decent build-ups. You know, the obvious long-term storytelling example would be the Bloodline thing, but to something a little bit more recent, let's go with like Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura. And I saw a clip of something where like they were, you know, Shinsuke was doing a promo and he says, no, I don't want to, like, they're saying, like, you know, why not challenge Seth again or something like that. He's like, no, I don't want to take your title right now. I'm doing this on my time. He's like, I want to break you. I want to beat you down to like the lowest you can go. And then I want to take your title from you. And I'm like, okay, so maybe they're not done with the whole Seth and Shinsuke thing quite yet. Like, okay, this could still have some legs to it. They're, you know what I mean? Like they do some really, really good, you know, getting you emotionally invested into what's going on with the match. Give me a why. And that's always like, that's been one of the things I've been preaching about for a while now, is like that would be the one biggest flaw that I would personally have with AEW at times, is like, you know, the emotional investments. Like, yeah, this match looks great, but why do I want to watch it? It was the same reason why I never watched 205 Live whenever it was on whenever, you know, is this WWE still doing 205 Live? I don't even know, because I never paid attention to it. Yeah, exactly. So
no, it's been gone for several years.
yeah, okay, see, and that's exactly how much I cared about 205 Live. Fantastic, athletically gifted people, you know, all the cruiserweights and stuff like that. But I could have given 2 shits less, because give me a fucking reason to be emotionally invested. You know what I mean? What is your character work doing? Why do I want to cheer you? Why do I want to boo you? Give me a reason why. And I will say that is something that WWE does very well, for the most part, on the bigger spectrum. They do a pretty good job of that. And if somebody isn't working, you know, they'll try to repackage them, whatever. But yeah, so some of those matches, it's like, wait, why? Where did this one come from? Completely out of left field.
You know, to the flip side, like, you know, WWE sometimes invests so heavily into a story, and the match comes and it's just a wet fart, and you're like,
Yeah. And yeah,
So, like,
it happens.
you know,
Absolutely, it happens. Yeah.
You know, there's some. Sometimes you can't get your cake, you eat it too. Sometimes it's just it is just how it is. Sometimes you get an awesome match with no build up. Sometimes you have a fantastic build up with a crappy match, and you just gotta take the best parts out of each and enjoy them.
Just got to roll. Now, look, before it gets too late, I do want to have a segment of the show that I like to call Tiger Bomb Tom Nosebleed.
Oh God, here we go.
So strap in.
Oh boy.
It's time for us to pull out the paper towels to get ready to dab up the blood as we put on our speculation pants.
Truth is, the frogs are gay from the start.
The frogs were gay from the start. And the truth is,
Goldberg eats corn the long way.
it's neither here nor there. But along those lines, the truth is, the backstage fight was rigged from the start. So speculation time. Survivor Series is rapidly approaching. And one astute observer of this podcast Googled Survivor Series 2023, and lo and behold, a picture that popped up on Google for Survivor Series 2023 was none other than that of Tom's new favorite Goldbergese wrestler, Filbert Brookington. So, is that foreshadowing? Was that an oopsie daisy? Is that somebody on the internet being funny? Is that a premonition of things to come? Or is it possible that this whole last hurrah that CM Punk had in AEW was all part of a grand master work? Because another thing that Beef had said was, wouldn't it be something if the man behind the devil mask was none other than CM Punk? Because I think, wasn't it a Ring of Honor promo that CM Punk did where he said,
Yep,
the greatest trick the devil ever did was convincing you he didn't exist?
that is correct.
Yep.
So let's take a moment and speculate. Do we think CM Punk is going to show up for Survivor Series 2023? Or do you think maybe, just maybe, Tony Khan and AEW is pulling the biggest work that the wrestling business has yet to ever see in having this whole latest thing of Punk and his backstage fit and the firing all be an intricate work to where the man wearing the devil mask turns out to be CM Punk? What do we think?
If I may. Gentlemen, Exhibit A.
I'm so happy.
Tony Khan comes out acting like he was about to get stabbed in the neck with a knife. I feared for my life. Come on. Come on. Come on. Like, the fact that it happened a year after the previous one, the fact that it seemed to be almost written in the stars. Can you believe it? CM Punk is at it again. Can you believe it? And then you look at the dude in the devil mask. Adam Cole, maybe. But CM Punk has a very Adam Cole build as well. That feud was never resolved. And if you remember correctly, when MJF went on his tirade where he was swearing on pay-per-view and telling Warner Media and Tony Khan to fuck off and everything, out was hobbling CM Punk because they were getting ready to go into their little thing. They were about ready to finish it off and do the blow-off where Max would beat Punk for the title. But it got shelved because of everything that would go on to happen that night. Is CM Punk still employed by Tony Khan? Is the greatest trick the devil ever pulled convincing you he didn't exist? No, you dumb marks. He's coming to Survivor Series. Bet.
Jesus. The only thing I'll say to that, as far as him coming to Survivor Series and whether or not the picture that that Ransom saw was an oopsie doozy or whatever, dude, have you seen people's skills with Photoshop and every other editing program out there today? You could literally Photoshop CM Punk into a WWE Survivor Series montage. I've seen people that have the ability to do it firsthand.
It wasn't a montage. It was me. It was me Googling Survivor Series that day. That wasn't something that I found on the internet. That was me Googling Survivor Series 2023, and that's what came up.
Yeah, you Googled it. Not everything on the internet is true, beef. I mean,
I'm saying this. Everybody is like, no, absolutely not. We're not bringing CM Punk back. Phillip Brooks is not coming back. Absolutely not. You know what? Like in my years as a wrestling fan, the only time that I have ever heard somebody so defiantly say the word no, it's absolutely not going to happen, is whenever it happened. Because they want to try and lock in the surprise. Let me instead give you this. So, at War Games, on one side we'll have Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso, Damian Priest, Finn Balor, maybe Dom Mysterio. That's 6, right? Okay. The other side, you got John Cena. You got Cody Rhodes. Got LA Knight. You got Jey Uso. You got Kevin Owens. It's only 5. A mystery 6 spot heading into War Games.
listen, you can fantasy book it till your heart's content, and you know what? That's your prerogative if you want to do it. I'm not going to believe it till I see it. And if it happens, man of my word, I'm taking the rest of the year off from the podcast because I can't understand why not money is not everything. I don't care. I know that's going to be your number one thing. Oh, eyes on the product and money. He'll put da 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 da. He can do this. He can bring in numbers. Sometimes it ain't fucking worth the hassle. He's proven time and time again that he's his own worst enemy. He's gonna shoot himself in the foot. He's gonna fucking cry about it. I'm old and tired and work with fucking children. Bleh. Well, great. Keep singing the same song and dance, but keep it out of the fucking locker room. Quit fucking spreading your toxicity. I'm sorry. Like, sometimes perception is reality. It walks like a duck, sounds like a duck. It's a fucking duck. And
if I may.
No.
The equivalent
Not
of
yet.
what you're saying.
Not yet.
Okay.
I will give him benefit of the doubt. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to take away any of his accomplishments. Amazing in-ring performer, one of the best on the mic that I've ever seen. Definitely, a generational talent. I'm not taking any of that away from him. He's done great things. I'll give him the whole, with him leaving WWE and walking out and everything like that. I can understand. I don't necessarily hold that against him because there was a lot of shit going on. There's 3 sides to every story. There's his side, there's WWE side, and then there's the truth somewhere in between. So, that's fine. But if nothing else, the last the last, and I will say his last 2 runs in AEW, because I don't, we'll break it up timeline wise or whatever. But him pulling the shit that he pulled it all out, sitting right next to his fucking boss, complete fucking lack of respect. I'm sorry, and this part's on Tony Khan, that he should have fucking did something then and there. I don't care who you are. You don't fucking, regardless of whatever job you're in, you don't fucking disrespect your boss like that, like sitting right next to them. Like, you take that shit behind closed doors and you handle your business, and you don't fucking air out your dirty laundry for everybody to see. 2, the second time though, regardless of who started what or whatever between him and Jack Perry, and correct me if I'm wrong, did you not say before that there were reports that he was like waiting back there in Gorilla for him? That Punk was waiting back there? I mean,
That's what I've heard.
Regardless of who said or did what first, man, you're the fucking veteran. Act like it. Don't be a fucking jackass. Like Rance was saying earlier, some of the guys there need to fucking look up to somebody like a Sting on how to fucking act like a veteran. The shit that he's pulling, not fucking cutting it, man. And I'm sorry, I personally don't want to see him anywhere in a fucking locker room till he fucking can sort that shit out and realize that. I don't want to see it. I really don't.
Now, look, before Beef gets into his thing, I just want to say that there is a noticeably defined difference between how things are held backstage in WWE and in AEW.
Fair.
CM Punk, I don't think, would have the availability to pull the things that he pulled in AEW in a WWE backstage environment. I think there's too much control backstage. If Punk would have been backstage and someone would have spouted something to the camera, if it was WWE, I don't think that remark to the camera during the match would have happened. Because I think WWE has far more, maybe control isn't the right word, but that's the only word I can come up with at the moment. I think they have more control over their employees. So I don't think that comment would have ever happened on screen in a WWE pay-per-view. And 2, if it would have, if someone would have done something out there that would have made Punk angry, and Punk would have been waiting in Gorilla, WWE has far too many people back there. They have far too many eyes going on in the back to let that be overseen. Like, they would have seen, if this was WWE, someone would have seen Punk back there waiting, knowing full well that he was pissed. And they would have been like, okay, let's remove you from this environment. Like, walk away now. You can't be here at Gorilla. You go to your locker room. And then the Jack Perry of it, when he finished his match and went to the back, he would have been ushered to a separate locker room. Like, I think that's the control that WWE has over their environment. Like, they would have been clearly split up at the time. There would have been no Punk waiting in Gorilla for Jack Perry to come back from his match to have an altercation to begin with. So saying, oh, well, I don't want to see Punk pull this shit in WWE, I don't know that he necessarily could, just because they're vastly two different animals. I think it's kind of the Wild West a little bit in AEW, and WWE has a lot more control over what's happening, that I don't think they would have even let it get to the point where there could have been a confrontation.
I'll give you that. That's fair. I will agree with you that WWE definitely has their ducks in a row more with in regards to that, because they've been doing it a lot longer. It would be hard for me to imagine that there's like not some sort of presence in Gorilla, in the Gorilla position at AEW, but digressing
Well, I
anyways.
think there is, but like,
yeah, but not to the
if there
extent.
was,
Right,
if
I
there
get it.
was the appropriate amount, like Beef had stated before, somebody would have seen Punk being pissed and would have been like, "Uh-oh, let's head this off now before we can have a confrontation."
Right.
Like, let's get somebody to get him back to his room. We'll get somebody to get Jack Perry back to their room. Once they cool off, then we'll have a supervised conversation where people can hash something out.
Right. And
In any case, Beef, you did want to say something to, I think, what Tom was saying.
Let me talk to you. Yeah. So, first of all, Tom, you're talking about money's not everything. Okay, but here's the thing. Someone comes up to me with the $200,000 check. They're like, here. And they're like, oh, by the way, I'm going to come into your house. I'm going to wreck everything. I'm probably going to break quite a lot of bit of it. And you might, it might be some stuff that's pretty important to you. I'm going to look at that $200,000 check and I'm going to go, okay, cool, get ahead. I don't give a fuck. Here's the thing. Like it or not, CM Punk has left money on the table. In WWE, in AEW, it's very clear people will follow him. And hashtag Punk may have been right. Look at this new report I sent over to you guys about the business with Ricky Starks and Edge. And I love Ricky Starks. I did it. Ricky Starks and Adam Copeland. I love Ricky Starks. But he went off script and called Adam Copeland bug-eyed. To which point Adam Copeland called him a vanilla midget rock wannabe. And, well, and then apparently there was heat on both of them. They were both not happy with one another. I don't think Tony Khan has control of the locker room. Because I don't think Tony Khan is that kind of a person. I think that Tony Khan is timid and meager. And believe it or not, I'm about to compare Tony and Vince McMahon and give Vince the edge. You didn't do that shit with Vince. Vince carried himself like a fucking mafioso. You never wanted to get on Vince's bad side. Not because you thought that he could kick your ass, but because you knew if you did, your days were fucking numbered. Tony Khan doesn't have that. Tony Khan has never had that. Tony Khan is Mike Tomlin. Vince McMahon is Bill Belichick. Like it or not, getting the job fucking done. Has been, will continue to do so. Oh yeah, you may like Tony Khan more. You may like what he's doing more. His stuff may be entertaining for a while. But the tried and true fucking brand of WWE was, and will be forever. So, it's like Ransom said, it's absolutely the Wild West. Tony Khan has no control of the locker room because a lot of his confidants are stooges. And I love Kenny Omega. I love the Young Bucks. But because they have any kind of positions of power, real or imaginary, I think it's going to hurt the brand. So, yeah, Punk walked out on WWE. It was a shitty situation. And again, Punk absolutely was right to do that there. Because I think had Punk not left, Daniel Bryan would have curtain jerked at best WrestleMania 30. And we would not have gotten the Yes Movement. And, is Punk right about AEW? I don't know. I can tell you this. With the story that comes out of, with that story about Adam Copeland and Ricky Starks, with the story about, William Regal leaving AEW in the way he did, and kind of saying how kind of crazy it was. I I have questions. And I know that not everybody's going to agree with Punk's methods. But like, if you're in a shitty work situation, sometimes you just got to get the fuck out. Um, you know, some people like to give 2 week notices. Some people like to say, "Fist yourself, I'm done."
Yeah, but then he
I don't
came back.
begrudge.
I don't get it. If he was that pissed off before it all out, and he's old and he's tired and he
I
works
don't
with
think he
fucking
was.
children.
So I don't think he was. I I think that he was so I think in the moment he was dejected, deflated, and pissed off because he knew that he had a big injury when he had a big angle coming up with MJF. Um, wait, no, that was fuck. Now my timelines are all fucked up. But I think that he knew, like he knew that he was injured. He knew he fucked up and that he was hurt. And then like everything else kind of wearing on him. Like I think that he let his emotion absolutely get the better of him there. But then he turned around and he wanted to be the guy that was like, yeah, let's do a fucking angle. Like all out in London. Let's fucking book it. Punk and FTR versus Omega and the Bucks. Let's fucking do it. Let's do business. Let's make a ton of fucking cash. Which they absolutely fucking what they did, but they would have made, I think, even more. He was the guy that wanted to do it. And the Bucks were the ones that didn't want to fucking play ball because of their fucking fragile egos. And I, and then yeah, like him getting in the fight with Jack Perry. Like Ransom said, man, like he was fucking sitting back there just fucking stewing, waiting for him. And then Jack comes back thinking he's a fucking hard ass, being like, "What? You want to go?" Like, if that's WWE, not only is fucking Triple H back there, who's gonna be, who's not fucking Tony Khan. He's gonna fucking diffuse some situations. But like you have other actual security guards, not independent wrestler security guards, but like actual fucking security that's gonna fucking break shit up. You have heads of the locker room that are gonna be there to fucking diffuse it. AEW, I think, didn't have that because they are locker room divided. And we're way off fucking subject here. We're way off in the weeds. Like I said, man, you can believe what you want to believe. And again, I'll say this. I don't think that CM Punk coming back to WWE is necessarily the best of ideas. But hell hath no fury like a CM Punk scorned. And if he thinks that he can prove a lesson to Tony Khan by showing back up at WWE and, driving that dagger deeper, I think he's going to do it. And I think it's very clear that WWE would love to drive daggers at AEW. Because on the one night the Dynamite had to move to a different night, they called up Cena, Cody, Paul Heyman, amongst other main roster stars, and oh yeah, trotted out the fucking Undertaker. Also that they could beat a show that's not on its normal night by a meager 300,000. You got John Cena, Cody Rhodes, Undertaker out there, and you can only pop 1 million views? Great work, NXT. Absolutely. So, like, yeah, I think that in this scenario, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and I think that, believe it or not, it's gonna make for weird bedfellows. But I think that is just going to be the perfect storm of CM Punk coming back to WWE. The fact that Survivor Series is in fucking Chicago,
Motor
is
City
is
Machine
is
Guns
is,
confirmed for Survivor Series as well.
is certainly just fuel on the fire. So Yeah, man. Like, and again, I don't know that's gonna benefit Punk. I don't know if it's gonna benefit WWE. It could be fun. It could be a car accident. I don't know. But regardless of what could happen, I think it's going to happen.
Oh no.
Well, we'll wait and see.
Oh my.
You know what else is going to happen? I think we're going to stump some fucking. I think that the champs are not going to be stumped tonight.
How many do
I
we
don't. You
have?
know what? I don't even know. I don't even know if we have one.
Well, check that queue and see.
Look, if Dave's going to continue to be towards the top of the leaderboard here, he's going to have to start showing up.
We have two.
Well,
we
we
have
can.
All right.
one for the Maniac and one from Ryuk.
Let's do the one from Ryuk this week, and we can save the one from the Maniac
Yeah,
for
double
whenever.
header. Let's do them. Do them both.
I mean, Beef wanted to keep it high and tight.
It's
Plus,
true.
plus,
we'll
plus
see
we're
how
down.
this one goes.
Plus, we're down a man, so we need full.
Fine. It's fine. We can handle it.
Fine. All right, let's do Ryuk's first.
It's fine. I had
This is
to.
a good one. How many matches has Goldberg won in WWE?
How
Fuck.
about I don't
This
fucking
is
care
a
how
good
many.
one.
Did he wrestle a lot of weeklies?
I don't think so. I think he
Whoa.
mainly was here for the pay-per-views.
How long was that run?
Not long.
It was what, 2002? Is that when he showed up?
Maybe because him and Lesnar happened at WrestleMania 20.
Was that his last
And
one?
that was the last one before he came back with the whole Lesnar thing again.
Yeah.
And that would have been 04. So I think 02 to 04 is a generous kind of like area. I don't think it was 2 years though. That seems really long. I mean, I don't even think it was a full fucking year. Because like there's no way that he wouldn't have been on the other WrestleMania cards, you know? Like there's no way that he wouldn't have been on WrestleMania 18 or WrestleMania 19. So like I think that that's a non-starter, honestly. So I know for sure. Oh, I can't even say for sure. Did he beat Scott Steiner in a pay-per-view match? I feel like he did.
Yeah. They wouldn't have put Steiner over Goldberg, I don't think.
I'm trying to think if that was part of like his like championship defenses. I think it might have been. Who did he beat for the title? Did he beat Triple H?
Triple H or when he first came in, he feuded with The Rock, right? But The Rock didn't have the title at that point.
Did he? I don't even remember that shit.
I think so, because I think it was like wasn't that the Hollywood Rock thing where he was like, I beat everybody, like there's nobody left.
Oh
like,
yeah.
I beat everyone,
Yeah,
and then Goldberg debuts.
Ugh. This entire fucking question is giving me heart palpitations. I am of no help of this. I can tell you that much. I am
fucking win, lose or draw. Ryuk knew what he did.
He did. He fucking did.
All I can say is, fucking this coming Tuesday, fucking get him. That's all I can say.
So I thought after The Rock beat Austin at WrestleMania 19, he went away. Maybe not.
Well,
He didn't, because The Rock was still. Wait, was that Hollywood? No, that was Hollywood Rock.
Yeah, absolutely it was.
But wasn't that right after he beat Austin? Isn't that
It
when
may
he?
have been. Yeah, and that would make sense in the timeline, given Goldberg almost a full year, but not quite. Okay.
It's
So I'm assuming you,
impossible. It's impossible to figure this out because Goldberg would have had matches on Raws. Maybe not many, but he would have had matches on Raws.
would he have been on house shows too? Like how the fuck do you figure that out? I don't even know. I don't even know where to begin.
You know, honestly, I
I
think it's
think
a
it's
shot
a
in the dark.
yeah, I think it's a borderline question at best. I'm not super happy with it. Not that I don't appreciate Ryuk's questions, but this is borderline name all of the competitors in Brawl for All and who they beat and how long the matches were and who won. This is
Yeah,
up there
sitting there
because you're asking us for a fucking match count.
like that
That's
would
tough.
not just because it's fucking Goldberg. Like if you said that about Seth Rollins, dude wrestles house shows and shit like that. Like how the fuck am I supposed to know
Right.
what he did
Or even
Poughkeepsie or whatever? Like get the fuck out of
or
here.
even or even Lesnar. Even if you're well, after Lesnar came back, after WrestleMania, whatever. How many matches has he won? That's a bit of a
I bet he had more Monday Night Raw matches than we think he did. I'm willing to bet.
I'm even trying to think of when he first showed up in WWE, like what year that was or anything, because WCW went out of business.
I think it was 03. I think Ransom's right. It was 03,
I
and
bet it
his
was.
last
I bet it was
match was
Backlash. Backlash
yep,
03
03,
is when he faced The
and
Rock.
then WrestleMania 20 was the last one until him versus Lesnar at whatever was that Survivor Series that one year.
Probably.
Um,
But I'm willing to bet his first run, because they would have gotten his one. They would have gotten their money's worth out of Goldberg. They wouldn't have brought Goldberg in as one of those legends and just had him wrestle on a handful of pay-per-views. I bet he wrestled a good number of Monday Night Raws. So I think to try to figure out how many matches he won in WWE would be damn near impossible.
Yeah, I don't know.
listen, I don't do this often, and it's not just because I think we're gonna get roasted here. I just don't think it's a fair question, and I moved to have it expelled.
Second,
And the motion passes.
Sorry, Ryuk. Again, it's not that we don't appreciate your participation, but you gotta you gotta give us a little bit of something here. This is a bit much.
Stabbing,
what was the
stabbing,
answer? Just out of curiosity.
stab in the dark before you even look at
Yeah,
it. Beef. Stab in the dark.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Stab in the dark.
Plus or minus
fuck.
5 off of it. Well, let's go plus or minus 5. Stab in the dark. What do you
Yeah.
think?
So he probably beat Rock. He probably beat Steiner. He beat Triple H. Probably lost to Triple H. There's 3. He beat Lesnar at Mania 22 or at Mania 20. He beat Lesnar at that Survivor Series. Then Lesnar beat him. Then he beat Owens. Then he beat The Fiend.
God.
So that's 8 that I can probably guarantee. Vince is probably right. They probably had some Raws worked in there. So I'm going to say 20. plus or minus 5. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna go. I don't want to give the man credit, but I think this is gonna be one of those ones where Ryuk was really trying to fucking stick it to us, or more so to me. So I'm gonna say plus or minus the 5. I'm gonna say 40.
Ransom?
Well, I'll go splitsies on with you guys. I'll say 30. Plus or minus.
Yeah.
Me says, I appreciate you guys. I'm glad to listen to you guys every time. I hope you guys know how much it means to you. We do, Ryuk, and we appreciate your listenership. It is Jesus Christ. Oh wait, no, that's something different.
Okay.
Okay, well this is this is a bad answer anyway. But here's the Ryuk here's the answer Ryuk supplied. Goldberg is undoubtedly one of the most devastated wrestlers of all time and became famous with his undefeated streak of 173 matches, which was not the question that you asked, Ryuk.
Nope.
So yeah,
So
this was getting tossed. This was getting tossed no matter what.
because that wasn't even in WWE. That was your
Nope,
answers
that was
pertaining.
WCW.
Your answers pertaining to the WCW streak. So learn the rules to your own question first of all. Learn how
Easy.
questions. Okay. Listen, I'm gonna fucking give
I'm
the
so
listen.
upset.
No, I
I'm
ain't.
healing up.
Listen, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna fucking heal up because you fucking made me sit through talking about Goldberg. I had to listen to this shit. I didn't have a
Jeez,
choice.
we talked about CM Punk and then we moved straight into Goldberg.
You realize you're trying to
It's like-
fucking give me
It's like a nightmare.
Are
for
you
Tom.
are you trying to give me heart palpitations? Like, cause I mean, if you want to kill me and fucking nix Tuesday nights all together, like, you know, do your thing. Send in all
Could
the
you
fucking
imagine if Goldberg was the 5th guy at Survivor Series?
fucking stop. I'm done with this. Let's wrap
Ransom,
this up.
please.
I can't. I
Let's
fucking
do
can't.
Pat's question since Ryuk's was tossed.
Yeah, okay. Only because I know we can probably do this pretty quick.
I hope so.
We all know that The Undertaker has the most consecutive WrestleMania appearances. Does he though?
Consecutive?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Go
Who
on.
who is second? Uh,
Probably fucking Randy Orton again.
I don't know, man.
Consecutive? Because, I mean... well, okay. No, he's probably not.
Hogan had 9. Hogan absolutely had 9. Like I know that to be a fact.
I mean, Triple H has got to be up there because even though he might not have won a whole lot, he was at fucking almost all of them.
Michaels.
Same with Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Michaels had
Mm.
quite a few consecutive.
Like-
Actually, maybe not, because he got injured after
The Tyson.
WrestleMania 14.
Yep.
Yeah, so like that was maybe at best, even if he appeared at all of them, that was maybe 8. So like I would still think that Hogan has him topped. I don't think it's Brett. It might be Cena.
Oh shit, John Cena.
And Cena was involved
Consecutive
in
is a thing. Yeah. Because
right,
Triple H was
right,
out for a
right,
few because of injuries.
right.
WrestleMania appearances? I mean, not
Yes.
and not necessarily wins. Besides Undertaker,
Appearances.
besides Undertaker, I mean, gun to my head, like a first name that pops in my head again is Orton or possibly Kane. I mean, like we've said, like we even said on the last question we did, like fucking Orton is now the fucking WWE stalwart. Like, Taker was the stalwart. Fucking Orton is now, man. He is the fucking captain of that ship, like it or not. I don't know.
So this isn't main eventing. This is just appearing.
Appearances.
Yep.
I got Cena pegged at least 10 years. 21
That
to 31.
Sounds about right.
I don't know if Cena was at 32 or not. I don't recall.
What about hang on. What about I'm trying to think who else back in the day.
But Orton would have a similar streak.
What about Bret Hart?
No. No, I don't think so.
Well, hold on now,
I know Heart Foundation and all that.
because Brett didn't. He was usually in. He was usually in WrestleManias. He wasn't injured for a lot of manias. I mean, he might not have main evented a lot of them, but he was definitely there. Like Heart Foundation,
No.
Intercontinental title.
He definitely was not at 1. He may have been at 2.
I think he was.
And WrestleMania 13 was his last. So best case scenario, we'd have 11. And that's
Wait.
if he appeared at every WrestleMania from 2 to 12 or 2 to 13.
No, that would give you 12. 12 consecutive. If you go 2 through 3.
2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 would be 11. Actually, be 12. Sorry, yeah, you're right. Actually, my math is off. But no, like 2 through 12 would be 10. 2 through 13 would be 11. So the one that I don't think he was involved in was WrestleMania 4, which was that big ridiculous title tournament. I don't think he was involved in the tournament. And there weren't a lot of other matches. There was a tag team title match that was like Demolition versus somebody, and that somebody wasn't the Hearts. And the Intercontinental title match, which was like Honky Tonk Man versus Rick Rude versus Ultimate Warrior, I believe. So like, I don't think that WrestleMania that Brett was at WrestleMania 4. And I could stand corrected, but I don't think he was at WrestleMania 4. So I think at best case scenario he was 5 to 13, which would be, 9, which is still an impressive streak. But again, I am 100% believing that Cena's been at least 11 straight. Orton's a different animal. I can't say with certainty that Orton has had more or less than Cena because again, he was same time frame. And actually he would have Cena by 1, assuming that they
Consecutive?
appeared in, yeah, because he was at WrestleMania 20. Oh, so was Cena though. So never mind. I'm walking that one back. And I think that they were both supposed to be part of 19, but neither one of them were.
Oh. I don't think I knew
But
that.
like I know they were both at 20, 21, 22. I don't remember 23 who Orton would have faced.
Who did Cena face at 23?
That was Cena versus Michaels.
Would Orton have been in the
Money in the Bank.
World? Oh.
Money in the Bank, I believe, that would have been Kennedy's year. Yeah. That was Kennedy's year, and Orton was a part of that Money in the Bank, if I'm remembering correctly. 24.
Oh.
Cena faced Big Show, and no, Cena faced Triple H and Orton at 24. 25, Cena was, I think, Big Show. Who did Orton face at 25?
I don't know. That's
Who made event at
20.
25?
I think that was Cena versus Big Show? No, Batista versus Undertaker was probably the main event.
Oh, that was Batista Undertaker year.
Yeah.
Would Orton have been in the? What was it? Orton Triple H?
Maybe. That sounds about right. Because then the next year, I think, was the year that Orton won the Royal Rumble. Or no, was 25 when Orton won the Royal Rumble with Legacy.
I don't know.
Because 26 was the year that Edge won, I believe. No, I'm off by a year. 26 was the Orton Legacy year. So I think that Orton probably would have main evented or been in a title match at 26. 27 was where The Rock came back.
And that was what, Cena and Miz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Ugh, man.
boy, that
Cena and Rock, once in a lifetime, 2 times.
was 28 and 29.
Yep.
And then obviously Cena faced Wyatt at 30 and Miro at 31.
Okay.
Orton faced Rollins at 31. And Batista and Daniel Bryan at 30. Who did he face at 29? Was he part of like the Shield match at 29? No. Because
What
they
year
made a
was the
big deal
Shield
about
match?
it. Was he involved with the Shield? Because it was
Yeah, wasn't it Evolution in the Shield?
At Mania, I thought it wasn't.
They did 2.
yeah, I don't think that was a Mania. That was definitely a Backlash match.
Was it Shield and Wyatt's at Mania that one year?
No, wasn't it Orton, Batista, and
No.
Bryan?
Yes, that was WrestleMania 30. WrestleMania 29 was Shield versus the Outlaws and Kane, I believe.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right.
I
Orton.
just have trouble remembering. Fuck. Because
Randy Orton. Orton.
it's
Sorry,
either
that's true.
Orton or Cena. It's either Orton or Cena. I can say that without too much of a doubt.
That
Oh,
didn't sound.
gross.
That didn't sound very hopeful there. I mean,
Right? No.
I hate to keep. I hate to keep
Without too
throwing.
much of a doubt.
I hate to keep throwing fucking names in and monkey wrenching it. Are we dismissing the possibility of Kane?
Not outright.
When was Kane's first Mania appearance was against Taker?
WrestleMania 14. Yep. Triple H, I think, debuted at WrestleMania 12 against Warrior. Then maybe WrestleMania 13 against Warrior.
13 was the year of what? Sid and Taker.
Yeah.
Bret Hart was there.
Yeah, it sure was. Fuck. All right, so
Could you imagine if we get this wrong and
assuming
Pat shows up for the Survivor Series pick episode?
no.
Yep.
So
no. He
Triple
throws a
H is at
curveball and has
13,
Amber on.
14.
Oh.
Did Triple H wrestle at 15?
It can't be Triple H. He was injured far too much.
16, 17. Yeah, I think you're right. I think Triple H would have too many injuries. You're right.
Yeah, not Triple H and not Shawn. Like not consecutive.
No.
All right.
Not
No,
consecutive.
Shawn was gone for far too long in between his
Kane 14,
early time and later time.
15. I think Kane wrestled 16. Was Kane in a Hardcore Battle Royal? No. Who did Kane face at 16? did he face anybody at 16? I'm sure he did. 17 was Big Show and Raven. 18. Fucking WrestleMania 18 is a big fucking blind spot for me, man.
That was the wasn't that was that the year that
The gimmick battle
Austin
was
royal.
versus
Rock and
Rock
Hogan.
and
Oh.
or no, wait.
18 was Rock Hogan, Austin Hall, Jericho versus Triple H.
Natch was injured.
I don't think Kane wrestled at WrestleMania 19.
Okay.
He might not have,
So
and that break would have sealed it.
okay, so
Right.
not Kane, not H,
So
not
I think it's Cena or Orton is where we're coming back around to.
So, all right. So just whittling off the possibilities here. Now, can you reread Pat's question again real quick? Just when.
Yes.
Okay.
We all know The Undertaker has the most consecutive WrestleMania appearances. Who is second?
Okay. Huh. And he doesn't provide.
Help me with WrestleMania 32. That was main evented, I think, by Reigns versus Triple H. I think. That's where Rock had that bullshit match with Rowan. And
Yeah.
they had that big ladder match for the
Oh,
Intercontinental title.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure Cena was not on that card. Was Orton.
Reigns Triple H main evented.
Hmm.
I'm gonna say that Orton probably was on that because that would have been. Trying to think.
That would have been corporate Orton.
Yeah, well,
Like
corporate Orton was.
the what
Yeah,
what was it called? The
Authority.
authority.
Yeah.
I just don't remember if he was there though. Like,
I don't
Was he in
either.
the Battle Royal? There was a Battle Royal that year, wasn't there? Was he in that?
He's far above the Battle
no.
Royal.
Yeah, that I think that may have been like the second annual Under the Giant.
So he might not have been there. He might not have been there then, because I can't think of who else he would have faced.
So I think that would leave like Cena and Orton tied unless Orton missed
But
a Mania
would that break
between.
would that break of not appearing at that WrestleMania still tie him with Cena?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying because I am
Yeah,
fairly
because Cena
fucking
wasn't there
certain.
either.
Right. So I'm fairly fucking certain that Cena was at every WrestleMania from 20 to 31. And I'm fairly certain the rest of Cena did not wrestle at 32.
No, I don't think him or Orton were there.
That's what I'm saying. So the only question is, did Orton miss a Mania in that span?
Ooh.
I want to say I don't think so because I think the most that he was really injured was early on in Evolution. And
Okay, so let me ask you this then. Pat makes it sound like this is an individual. And if we're getting Hornswoggle that there are two, if we get one of them, are we calling this a victory?
So you think there might be a tie?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think this could well be Cena and Orton together. I know for a fact Cena was at 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27,
28.
28, 29, 30, and 31. So that's 12 consecutively.
Okay.
And Orton was the same.
In theory. But the problem is that Orton's kind of sketch in that I can't. There's a few years in there, like at WrestleMania 27, I can't say definitively that he was there.
Oh wait,
I know John Cena was.
hold on. 20
Yes.
wasn't 27. Wasn't that Orton and Punk? There was a year where it was Orton and Punk, because I know that's whenever he was like kind of pissed off. That he was,
And that would make sense because Punk faced Jericho at 28 and Undertaker at 29. So
yeah,
that would, that would be right in there. Okay.
yeah.
And like I said, I'm pretty sure that Orton had a title match at 26.
I say we just say both of them.
But see that, so that's the question. I'm worried if we say both, and there was only one of them. Like that's definitely wrong. But if we say one of them, and there was actually two of them, does that make us wrong?
Yes, because we didn't get the other one. So either way, doesn't matter.
Well, right, but okay. So repeating the question, who is second? So to me, I think if we name one of the second placers, if there are two, then we're right.
No, we're not, because if he says who is second, who would be there is a tie. So we either
if we name two and there's only one, we're wrong.
We're wrong.
If we name one and there were two,
then we're still wrong.
We're wrong.
So
we only get this right if there were two and we name two, and we're right, then we're right. If there was one and we name one, then we're right.
Wait. Never mind. I'm walking it back.
Go ahead.
I was like, wait, WrestleMania 31, and I was like, wait, no, Orton beat Rollins at WrestleMania 31.
The greatest arcade
That's
ever.
when Rollins,
God almighty.
Yeah, that's when Rollins cashed in.
Wait, what? No. You said
it was.
You just said that's when Orton beat Rollins.
And Rollins cashed in later on that night.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm sorry. Yeah. Wow, I'm dumb. Okay. No, let's. I'm good with going with Orton and Cena. Ransom.
Well, Beef's the WrestleMania guy. I'm going to defer to you two. I'm still going to put a prop bet on Bret Hart because I think he might be in there, but I'm not confident enough to make an argument.
Best case scenario, he would have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So he would be at 12 as well.
Which would be the same as Orton and fucking Cena.
And Cena.
God damn it.
But I really don't think he appeared at WrestleMania 4. I really don't think he did.
So WrestleMania 4 is the one that you're thinking that's going to be the make or break for Bret Hart.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'll defer to you, Beef, but I'm good with picking a tie between Orton and Cena. So,
WrestleMania 32. Where were you, Randy, Keith, Orton?
Where were you?
So I know for sure.
So we don't have him nailed down for 32. We're thinking he was there, but we don't know exactly.
I know for sure that he was at 33 because that's when he beat Bray for the title.
Wait, what was the main event of 32 again?
Roman Reigns versus Triple H for the title.
Okay.
Is that when Triple H won the title in that year's Royal Rumble?
Yep, because that's the one where Reigns had to enter in at 1 and he was the champ. And
whoever won the Royal Rumble was the champion.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, and then they had the rematch.
Yep.
Okay.
That's that was that year's Royal Rumble, because I think in the final four there was like Triple H. I can't remember if Dean Ambrose was somewhere in the mix there or not.
He was, I think.
Regardless, I don't
Ambrose faced Lesnar
at that Mania. Okay.
at WrestleMania 32.
Who in the fuck would have Orton faced if he was there?
Rollins was hurt.
Okay.
Was Orton hurt?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to think of like what all was going on around that time, because like we said, that would have been the Authority sort of thing going on there.
Oh, yeah.
So I would venture to say that Orton would have been involved unless he was injured. But
Was he doing something with whenever he had J&J Security?
Ooh.
Was that around that time frame?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely would have been.
Would it have been Kane versus Orton in that Mania at all? Because remember, Kane kind of got sick of their shit. Or Orton versus Big Show, maybe? Something. That leads me to believe that Orton would have been involved in that Mania somehow. I just for the life of me,
well,
I can't.
Cena wasn't, right?
Correct.
Cena absolutely was not. Absolutely was not.
All right, so
and
then
there is a chance that Orton was.
If Orton was and Cena was not, that would put Orton over Cena, right?
Correct.
Absolutely.
But if Orton wasn't,
they would be tied.
They would be okay. I see where you're getting the tie at now. I couldn't put that together.
I do. I'm hard pressed to think that Orton was injured then or something. And if he wasn't injured and he was healthy,
he would have had a match.
Wait. Did hang on. Okay, no. Remember whenever Reigns cut that promo on Orton and he said something about he basically dogged on him for popping for whatever on the drug test or whatever. or one of them pumped on the other, so Orton might have been suspended.
Oh, Orton out on drug charges.
That's likely.
One of them cut the promo on the other and said something about no enhancements needed or something like that. Because they both popped around the same time. He only got a 30-day suspension or something like that. I think Orton.
No, yeah, you're right.
I think Orton might have been suspended at that time. Fuck.
Then he would be tied with Cena then.
This isn't going to take us.
Saying, Beef?
In theory,
This isn't going to take us long at all to figure out at all. 30 minutes later.
Shut up.
Beef doesn't want Pat on the show so much that he's willing to go extra time.
High and tight, Beef. Let's call it high and tight. Cena and Orton tied for the second most. Let's fucking call it. You're old, you're tired, you work with fucking children.
Truth.
My only other question.
I can attest that I'm a child.
My only other question would be WrestleMania 25, and that probably was Orton versus Triple H in there.
Is that the year? Did he win the Rumble that year?
No, that was the next year.
Oh, okay.
All right. I'll call it. I think Cena and Orton are tied.
Okay.
With 12.
Ooh.
All right. You guys good with it?
Yep. Lock it in.
Welcome to the show, Pat.
Lock it in. Let's do it.
Quarter 4 is kicking my ass. Congratulations to the new Cruiserweight champion in December. Oh, damn.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to eat my hat on this one. The answer is Bret Hart with 12.
First
appearing at WrestleMania 2, ending at WrestleMania 13. I have questions.
Are you going to review the validity?
Bret Hart was in the Battle Royal at that WrestleMania. You couldn't peg him in, I bet.
There was a Battle Royal WrestleMania 4? I don't think there's a
You got beef all flustered. You can figure that out afterwards.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be on the recording. I'm just gonna be, doing some backstage work here.
But anyways.
But unless I figure some shit out, fucking Pat fucking does the thing.
I love it. He's
that's
so fucking
not a grand victory that you're giving him there, Beef.
Put some fucking.
Well, you know what?
Put some respect on it.
Congratulations, Pat. You have stumped the Champs.
Yeah, here.
Does that make
Well,
everybody
at least according to Wikipedia, WrestleMania 4, Bad News Brown won a battle royal by last
that
eliminating
was
Bret Hart.
that one. Son of a bitch! I thought that was WrestleMania 3. Blah.
Oh no! So we still have to check and see how many consecutive Manias Cena and Orton were in, right? Because you were thinking that Cena and Orton both had 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can figure that out whenever. And we can always issue an editorial rebuttal on the next episode.
A retraction, if you will.
A retraction. Yeah, sorry, that's what I was going for. Thank you, Ransom. An editorial retraction if need be, but for now, it appears that Pat has stumped the Chumps. So
call your shot, Pat. Come on the Survivor Series episode.
Do it. Come on the one
ideas, man.
Come on the one afterwards when fucking CM Punk shows up at Survivor Series and then I'm out for the rest of the year. There you go. How about that?
Oh no.
Oh shit. All right. Well,
have Amber come on instead of you for the picks episode and really drive Beef crazy.
Oh my god. Fucking do it. I'd almost pay money to see that happen. Oh. All right.
Amber locking in her picks live. Oh, good lord.
Well, now that
make it a taco, we've run late.
Yeah, it's a taco. Thanks everybody. Make sure to check out the sponsors. Links in the video description, all that good stuff. Thanks everybody. Bye.